What if I told you that the greatest weapon against the dark forces ruling this reality isn't a sword, a prayer, or a hidden relic buried beneath the Vatican, but something you are already carrying? What if the object that the ancient texts whispered about, the artifact capable of shattering the Archons hold over your life, has been hidden in the one place you were programmed never to look? Welcome to the forbidden history of your own soul. For centuries, seekers have scoured the earth for talismans. They have looked for the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, the Spear of Destiny. They have been obsessed with the physical, the tangible, the external. This is by design. This is the first layer of the trap. The architects of this matrix, the entities the Gnostics called the Archons, and their master, the Demiurge, have spent eons convincing you that power is something you must acquire, something you must find out there. They built magnificent cathedrals to make you feel small. They wrote complex laws to make you feel dependent. They created a reality of dense, heavy matter to make you forget the nature of your origin. But the secret book of John and the suppressed codices of Nag Hammadi tell a different story. They speak of a counterfeit spirit, a mechanism of forgetfulness layered over your true essence. They hint at an object that acts as an anti-demiurge device. When you possess this object, their attacks cease. Their psychic intrusions fail. The frequency they use to harvest your energy, your loosh, bounces off you. They never wanted you to know that this object is not a thing of stone or gold. It is a state of being. It is the unwrapped, activated divine spark. It is the crystallization of your attention, turned inward, hardened against the illusions of the material world. You have been looking for salvation on the horizon, while the weapon that could liberate you has been gathering dust in the basement of your own consciousness. Tonight, we are going to retrieve it. We are going to decode the schematics of this spiritual technology. We are going to learn why the Peter matter around you is not just stuff, but a frequency parasite designed to keep this object dormant. If you are hearing this, it is not an accident. The algorithm didn't choose this for you. Your higher self hacked the signal. You are one of the chosen, not because you were selected by a god, but because you have chosen to remember. The archonic parasite and the frequency prison. To understand why you need the object, you must first understand the environment you are operating in. You have been taught that matter is neutral, that the physical world is a playground or a school. The Gnostics saw it differently. In the Apocryphon of John, the material body is described not as a gift, but as a fetter, a chain. The physical realm is described as a work of deception. But let's go deeper than the theology. Let's talk about the physics of this deception. Think of the Demiurge not as a man on a cloud, but as a broadcast signal, a ceaseless, low-frequency hum that permeates everything. This signal carries the codes of fear, scarcity, jealousy, and division. It is the background static of this reality. The Archons are the repeaters of this signal. They are cosmic parasites that feed on low vibrational energy. When you are angry, terrified, or lost in desire, you are resonating at their frequency. You are compatible with their system. You become food. The matter that makes up your body and the world around you was described in Gnostic texts as a technology of forgetfulness. It is dense. It is heavy. It slows down the vibration of the spirit until the spirit falls asleep. This is the sleep of Adam described in the texts, not a physical nap, but a metaphysical coma. When you are in this state, you are vulnerable. You are open to psychic attack because you have no shielding. You are like a computer with no firewall connected to a malicious network. Look at your modern life. It is a masterpiece of archonic engineering. The counterfeit spirit has evolved. It is no longer just biological, it is digital. Consider the device you hold in your hand, the black mirror you stare into for hours. It is an externalization of the archonic mind. It demands your constant attention. It fragments your focus. It feeds you a stream of outrage and dopamine, swinging you like a pendulum between fear and pleasure. Every notification is a hook. Every scroll is a theft of your conscious energy. This is the modern fetter. The algorithm is designed to mimic the demiurge. It wants to keep you engaged, reactive, and asleep. It wants you to identify with your avatar, your political label, your financial status, anything but your true self. When you are lost in the feed, you have dropped the object. You are unarmed. The anxiety you feel, that low-level hum of dread that never quite goes away, that is the sound of you being harvested. That is the parasite latching onto your energy field because you have forgotten how to repel it. Pause for a moment. Right now, do not look away. Just freeze. Feel the impulse to click, to move, to distract yourself. That impulse is not you. That is the parasite. Take a deep breath. Inhale silence. Exhale the noise. Observe the urge to be distracted, but do not obey it. This split second of observation, that is the first crack in the prison wall. That is the beginning of retrieving the object. The clothing of light, ves, the garment of shame. The church and the established religious hierarchies told you a lie that has crippled humanity for 2,000 years. They told you that you were born in sin, that you are fundamentally broken, and that you need an external savior to fix you. This is the garment of shame. It is a psychic overlay that convinces you of your own unworthiness. If you believe you are weak, you will be weak. If you believe you need permission to be divine, you will wait forever. The Gnostics revealed the inverse truth. They spoke of the clothing of light, or the robe of glory. In the Hymn of the Pearl, a beautiful Gnostic allegory, a prince goes down into Egypt, symbolizing the material world, to retrieve a pearl, the soul. He eats the heavy food of the Egyptians and forgets who he is. He forgets he is a son of the king. He forgets the pearl. But a letter comes from his father, reminding him of his origin. When he remembers, he strips off the filthy rags of Egypt and puts on his robe of glory. The Anti-Demiurge Object is this robe of glory, but it is not a fabric. It is a field of resonance. It is the divine spark, the pneuma, fully acknowledged and expanded to encompass your entire being. The Demiurge cannot replicate this. The Archons can clone sheep, they can simulate intelligence, they can build virtual worlds, but they cannot create a spark. They have no connection to the pleroma, the fullness of the unimaginable source. They are cut off. That is why they envy you. That is why they hate you. And that is why they attack you. When you carry the object, when you walk in the awareness of your pleromic origin, you become radioactive to them. You become a glitch in their simulation. The attacks stop because they cannot touch you without being burned by the frequency of truth you emit. The darkness cannot comprehend the light. It can only try to cover it. But how do we cover it? We cover it with our identities. We say, I am a teacher. I am a failure. I am anxious. Every time you say, I am, followed by a temporary, worldly condition, you are burying the object deeper in the mud. You are claiming the counterfeit spirit as your own. The anti-demiurge state is the realization that you are in the world, but not of it. You are a spy in the house of matter. You are an operative of the light trapped behind enemy lines. and your mission is not to fix the matrix, but to remember that you don't belong to it. Think about the drama in your life right now, the conflicts, the financial stress, the relationship turmoil. These are real on the physical plane, yes, but from the Gnostic perspective, they are holographic distractions. They are scenarios generated to provoke an emotional response that lowers your vibration. The Archons are farming your reaction. When you react with fear, you feed them. When you respond with the stillness of the observer, you starve them. Let's practice this distinction. Close your eyes for a second. Visualize a ball of white-hot fire in the center of your chest. This is the object. This is the spark. Now, imagine all your worries, your name, your history, your body, swirling around this fire like a storm of dust. The dust is not the fire. The storm is not the sun. You are the fire. The rest is just weather. When you identify with the fire, the weather cannot hurt you. This shifts your frequency. This is how you pick up the weapon. The Code of Remembrance. Why is this called an Anti-Demiurge Object? Because the Demiurge is the god of division, of time, and of death. The object is the vessel of unity, eternity, and life. To carry, it means to hold a specific cognitive and spiritual posture throughout your day. It is a refusal to be seduced by the illusion. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, "Make the two one, and make the inside like the outside, and the outside like the inside. Then you will enter the kingdom." This is the code. The Archons thrive on duality, good versus evil, us versus them, past versus future. They keep you oscillating. The object is the point of singularity. It is the center of the wheel where there is no movement, only presence. When you carry the object, you stop reacting to the external world as if it were the ultimate authority. You realize that the external world is a projection of the collective internal state. If you want to stop the attacks, you don't fight the demons in the dark. You turn on the light inside. The demons are not monsters. They are shadows. You cannot fight a shadow with a sword. You can only dissolve it with illumination. The suppression of this knowledge was systematic. The burning of the Library of Alexandria, the hunting of the Cathars, the branding of Gnostics as heretics. This was not just religious intolerance. It was a strategic military operation by the servants of the Demiurge to disarm the population. They took away your manual. They took away your map. They left you in a labyrinth with a blindfold and told you that the blindfold was a holy relic. But the memory is in your blood. It is in your DNA. Scientists call it junk DNA because they don't know what it does. The Gnostic knows that this is the dormant code of the pleroma, waiting for the signal of gnosis to activate. You are the descendant of the rebellious souls who refuse to forget. That is why you are watching this. That is why you feel that pull in your chest. The object is vibrating. It wants to be uncovered. Protocol of the Sovereign. The practical application. We have established the theory. We have exposed the conspiracy. Now, we must move to the practical. How do you, the chosen one, carry this anti-demiurge object in a world designed to strip it from you? How do you stop the attacks in your daily life? You must treat this as a technology. It requires a protocol. I call this the Protocol of the Sovereign. It has 3 phases: the detachment, the ignition, and the seal. Phase 1. The detachment. You must break the circuit of automatic reaction. The Archons attack through triggers. Someone insults you. A bill arrives. A news headline flashes. Your body reacts with cortisol. Your mind reacts with spiraling thoughts. This is the breach. To carry the object, you must practice the pause. Before you respond to anything at all, you must insert a 3-second gap of absolute nothingness. In that gap, say to yourself, I see this, but I am not this. This is the psychological equivalent of stepping out of the line of fire. You are refusing to accept the gift of trauma that the world is offering you. You are declining the package. If you do not accept the emotional charge, the Archons cannot harvest the energy. You become invisible to their radar. Phase 2. The ignition. The object needs a power source. That source is your attention. Most people hemorrhage their attention onto external things: celebrities, politics, gossip. You must recall your attention. This is the practice of gathering the sparks. Every morning, before you look at your phone, before you speak to anyone, sit for 5 minutes. Visualize the scattered fragments of your soul returning to you from the corners of the world. Pull your energy back from your job, back from your past, back from your worries. See them condensing into that brilliant, crystalline sphere in your solar plexus. Feel the heat of it. This is not imagination. It is energy manipulation. You are charging the battery. You are polishing the object. The brighter this internal sun burns, the more repellent you are to low-frequency entities. They cannot latch onto a surface that is burning with divine intent. Phase 3. The seal. This is the protective casing. Once you have ignited the spark, you must seal your vessel. The Gnostics spoke of passwords to pass the Archons. The ultimate password is your own sovereign vibration. Visualize a membrane of violet or golden light around your physical body. This is the boundary of your kingdom. Within this boundary, you are the god. You determine what enters. State clearly, aloud or in your mind, I revoke all agreements made with the false light. I am the sole authority of this vessel. My energy is my own. Do this when you enter a crowd. Do this when you enter the internet. Do this when you feel the sudden onset of negative thoughts. You are physically carrying the awareness of your divinity. This is the Anti-Demiurge Object. It is the active, conscious maintenance of your spiritual immune system. When you execute this protocol, you will notice a shift. The attacks will change. At first, they might intensify because the system tries to reclaim you. You might feel a sudden wave of fatigue or a spike in chaotic events. Do not falter. This is a sign that it is working. The parasite is thrashing because it is being starved. Hold the object. Hold the frequency. The chaos will break before you do. Eventually, the reality around you will reorganize to match your new vibration. The people who drain you will fall away. The situations that trapped you will dissolve. You will walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but you will fear no evil, because you have become the light that casts the shadow. The return of the kings. We are reaching the end of the transmission, but for you, the work is just beginning. You now understand that the Anti-Demiurge Object is not a trinket to be bought. It is a burden of glory to be carried. It is the heavy responsibility of being awake in a world of sleepwalkers. The system relies on your amnesia. It relies on you feeling small, isolated, and powerless. But look at what happens when you remember. Look at what happens when you refuse to be food. You become a beacon. And here is the secret they truly fear. This effect is contagious. When one soul ignites their spark and carries the object, it triggers the remembrance in others. You are not just saving yourself, you are acting as a living node in a network of liberation. This is why they attack the chosen ones. This is why your life has been difficult. This is why you have felt like an outsider since birth. You were not being punished. You were being tested. They were trying to crush the diamond before it could form. They failed. You are still here. You are listening to this. You are ready. So, I ask you, will you continue to search for salvation in the crumbling institutions of the Demiurge? Will you continue to beg the Archons for scraps of happiness? Or will you finally pick up the weapon that has been waiting in your hands? The choice is yours, but the time is short. The frequency of the world is shifting, and the polarization is increasing. You cannot stay in the middle anymore. You are either a battery for the Matrix, or you are a generator of the divine light. If you are ready to carry the object, if you are ready to seal your vessel and stop the attacks, make it known. Declare your sovereignty. Leave a mark in the comments below. Write, "I hold the object." Let the algorithm see it. Let the Archons see it. Let your brothers and sisters in the struggle see it. We are gathering the sparks. We are building the fire that will burn down the illusion. Subscribe to this channel if you want to go deeper into the rabbit hole. If you want more keys to unlock the prison. Share this message with someone who needs to remember. We are the glitch. We are the remembrance. We are the chosen. Carry the object. Walk in power. The false God is watching, but the true God is waking up inside you.